with young people, because there's so many great events that happen in the Old Testament that we can really draw from. So 1 Kings chapter 12. Now, if you don't know where 1 Kings is, it's right before 2 Kings, okay? So 1 Kings, and let me just mention while I'm thinking about it, we are just a few weeks now, August the 20th, we are a few weeks from a major election. Now, it's not the election, that's not till November, but August the 20th is a big election, because there are some local things that are going to be on the ballot. And Mr. Ammon will have, Mr. Ammon will have these, or we'll get them in the back somewhere, some voter guides put out by the Florida Faith Foundation. And there's a couple of things here that we locally, I'm sorry about my voice all of a sudden. I'm going to menthol, but it doesn't help all the time, so that's good. There's some things here that we put out, the questions, and there's a couple of amendments that are coming up and some referendums and things that we'll catch you up on when we get closer to November. But the thing about politics is interesting. The name will say one thing, but the meaning will be another. So especially on the referendums, I'm going to need some help. I don't know what I need. I've got water. Yeah, thank you. I'm looking at Gary back there, and he's pointing out tequila and vodka, and he's pointing out everything else. So there's some things coming up. Don't have all the answers, but we have people that can help you get those answers. All right. Goodness, I'm so sorry. I was doing great. It was that high note. I was trying to hit that high note and knock me out. 1 Kings chapter number 12, right? Is that where I said? What's that? You know how weird it is to stand up in front of people and let them watch you drink? How are y'all? Oh, nice. How's that? Very good, very good. Thank you very much. All right. I should use my Elvis voice. Huh? Hold on a second. You can, okay. All right. God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Ghost, Miss Valerie. All right, just make sure you know. 1 Kings chapter 12. I'm better now. I think it just got hung up. I'm better now. 1 Kings chapter 12. Rehoboam went to Shechem, for all Israel were come to Shechem to make him king. And it came to pass when Jeroboam, right? Rehoboam, Jeroboam, the Boam boys. Rehoboam, Jeroboam. Now it came to pass when Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who was yet in Egypt, heard of it, for he was fled from the presence of the king, Solomon, and Jeroboam dwelt in Egypt, that they sent and called him, and Jeroboam and all the congregation of Israel came and spake unto Rehoboam, saying, Thy father. Now, Rehoboam's father was who? Solomon, all right? Thy father made our yoke grievous. Now, therefore, make thou the grievous service of thy father and his heavy yoke, which he put upon us, lighter, and we will serve thee. And we will serve thee. And he said unto them, Depart yet for 3 days, then come again to me. And the people departed. All right, now here's what happened. And we're going to give you the overview. And again, we're just talking about this idea of learning is hard, not learning is hard. Choose your heart. Listening to counsel, to advice. Sometimes that's hard because you don't like what it says. But not listening is hard. So I want you to help me. With the kids in here tonight, I want you to help me. I need, let's say I need a King Rehoboam. And it can be a boy or girl. We're flexible. Who? You know what? That's perfect. Give me both of them. Come on, boys. Liam and Bryce. All right, good. Come here. Now, we got to do this. You stand right here and don't move. Now, which one are you? Liam. Which one are you?
Bryce.
No, I'm just kidding. I knew. All right. All right, this is Bryce. Say Bryce for me. Bryce. All right. No, stay right there. Stay right there. Now, you, Liam Nelson. He has an awesome set of skills, and he will find you if he has to. Liam, you are going to be King Rehoboam. Can you say, I am King Rehoboam?
I'm King Rehoboam.
And you, Bryce, are going to be Jeroboam, son of Nebat.
Jeroboam, son of Bat.
Son of the bat, that's right. Very good. All right. Now, Rehoboam's father was Solomon. And as David anointed Solomon to be king, now it goes to make perfect sense that Solomon's son, what's your name?
Liam.
What's your pretend name tonight?
Rehoboam.
It makes perfect sense that Rehoboam is going to be the king in his father Solomon's stead. Now, question, how many wives did Solomon have? A lot. A lot. How many? How many? So 300 and 900 concubines, technicalities, all there. Do you know that there was only one of all those women in all the Bible? Easy, Jeroboam. There was only one listed son. Now, we suppose, with that many wives and that much busyness, that there were more. It's okay. But we only have one listed son, and his name was Rehoboam. Now, Jeroboam had been told by God, I'm going to use you to deal with the nation. But not yet. So Jeroboam runs to Egypt. Now, Shechem is a very special place. I don't have time to go through all of it. But Shechem is where they're going to anoint Rehoboam to be the king. And this is a big deal. So everybody comes out to anoint Rehoboam to be the king. But, number one, write this down. There is a problem, and the reality of that problem arises at the anointing. The reality of an unplanned problem. You know what that was? Rehoboam was the king, going to be. Rehoboam had the title or the position, but watch this. Jeroboam had the people. He didn't have the position, but he had the people. Now, over here, I should have made this shorter, but I'm going to get my steps in tonight, bless God. He had the position, but not the people. And so, a problem comes. Now, mark this. People can live without a king, but a king cannot live without people. Watch this. I'm going to show you something awesome. Ready? I am the king of Pinellas Park. Now, I can claim that, but if nobody supports me, big deal. By the way, there's thousands of people in Pinellas Park. They don't need a king. And so Rehoboam, he is going to be the king, but all of a sudden he realizes, I got a problem over here. All these people, Jeroboam is leading them, they come to talk to me. Now watch this. You are going to go through life. Young people, listen. You're going to go through life and you think, this is going to be the best day ever. I'm going to be the king. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be, oh man, I cannot wait. And guess what? It is not going to go like you thought it was. In fact, what was going to be the best day ever for Rehoboam turned out to be awful. Now, you say, preacher, you're just a no fun guy. No, I'm a realist. I'm just going to tell you, you think it's happily ever after, butterflies and bluebirds and all that's going to just light on. Listen, it is not the bluebird of happiness. It is the chicken of despair. Trouble's going to come. And you're going to be disappointed. And people are going to be the cause of your disappointment. Old people, listen to me. Have you ever been hurt? You ever been let down? You ever been betrayed? Now, young people, it's interesting. I watch my kids, and I watch the kids I get to pastor, and all of a sudden they have a relationship conflict, and they're all up in arms. It's the end of the world. Oh! And I'm like, this is just Tuesday. This is normal. So, number one, you with me, Rehoboam? You with me, Jeroboam? All right, watch this. Now, the problem is position, no people, people, no position. Number two, Jeroboam is leading the elders of Israel. I need probably about 5 or 6 helpers. 5 or 6 helpers. Can you come up here, please, if you would like to help me? 5 or 6 helpers. Come on, guys. There's 1, 2, 3. Come on, Bubba. I'm very disappointed. I got nobody from this row right here. Leah, Sammy, I got nobody. All right. Now you got you're behind Jeroboam. Now, anybody else? Got all the helpers? Leah, you good? You don't need the help? Oh, you're over here too. Man, you got your own country over here. You got to help me. Now, these people are all the wise, older people, mature. They have lived with Solomon. They have been down the road. And they love the nation of Israel. And they love God. But they hated taxes. And they hated the burden of all that. Solomon did all kind of wonderful things. Do you want to be up here? Oh, you hate taxes? So when I said taxes, now Mike's getting up here. So they loved everything that Solomon had done. But now listen, that was enough. So they said, we're going to go with Jeroboam. Are you ready, Jeroboam? Come on, follow me, guys. Here we go. Got our shoes tied? All right, let's go. Stop. Rehoboam.
Jeroboam.
I want you to lower the taxes.
To lower the taxes.
And to make life easier for us.
And make life easier for us.
Because if you will do that, we will serve you.
We will serve you.
All right, everybody stay right there. Now, here's very simple. Request. Make life better. Lower the taxes. We cannot keep this pace up. For 40 years, they had expanded the kingdom. For 40 years, they'd built the temple. For 40 years, they'd built Solomon's beautiful house. I mean, this was a lot. And all that these people wanted, they didn't want to have a rebellion. They didn't want to have a civil war. Where are you going? They didn't want to have, all they wanted was for some relief. Now watch this. You're going to have times where you're going to be faced with things, and you're going to have to make some decisions. Do I keep going? Just keep charging, or do I relax? Is it time to go? And just life is full of. In fact, your life is really nothing but a culmination of all your decisions. And you're going to have these forks in the road. Do I go left? Do I go right? Do I stop? Do I go forward? And so we got this best day ever, and now we've got these guys saying, "Listen, you got to give us a break. You got to give us a break." Now, watch what Rehoboam. This is brilliant. Rehoboam is brilliant. He looks at Jeroboam. Boy, they look very similar, Rehoboam and Jeroboam, don't they? Rehoboam looks at Jeroboam, and he says, "Okay, we understand that y'all have been through a lot, and he's got it." And he said, "You need to give me some time to think about this." Now, before I go to the point number 3, watch this. They have been through a lot. He is a recipient of all their work. So he's got to make some decisions. Now, number 3, the right response. You know what Rehoboam tells Jeroboam and all the people he represents? Hey, that's a good idea.
That's a good job.
Give me Give me 3 days.
Give me 3 days.
And I'll come back and talk to you about it.
I'll
come back after 3 days.
After 3 days.
And they said, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, y'all stay right here for a minute. Now watch this. This was brilliant. Why? Because we're going to think about it. We're going to consider it. Take time to make choices. This is the greatest leadership lesson I've learned. I will say this, and I know sometimes I say this or that and claim it to be the greatest, but I'm going to guarantee you that without a doubt, this is the lesson I've learned. And Jason, I'm going to teach you this, and I want you to get it in business. I want you to get it. Not every decision is an immediate decision. Now watch this. Your failure to plan does not constitute an emergency on my part. And what I did for so many years of my ministry is I'm running around like a crazy man putting out your fires or putting out the fires of others. And so what I've learned is, you know what? Give me a little bit of time. I'm burning myself out trying to put out the fires you started. Give me some time. So number one, time is your best friend in decision making. Now, every now and then there's a critical moment. I understand you must make a decision. Extreme ownership demands that sometimes. But time, number two, and this is where it's very important. Always get counsel. Always get counsel. Now, the best counselor you have is the Word of God. Always. Prayer and the Word. That's what I'm going to call biblical counsel. Always get, well, Brother, that's what I'm praying about. Why are you praying about that? The Bible has already clearly declared yes or no on that. Do not have to pray about things the Bible is just very clear on. Get biblical counsel. By the way, if you're in too much of a hurry to get to get biblical counsel, you're too much of a hurry. Fast always equals flesh. Now, that's not a hard and fast rule, but that's almost a hard and fast rule, that if it has to be fast, it's probably the flesh. That's why you have high-pressure sales. That's why you have impulse buying, and it's just a whim, a moment. Now, never thinking about the later. So number one, biblical counsel. Number two, get peer counsel. Now, Rehoboam I need 2 or 3 friends of Rehoboam. I need 2 or 3 friends. Can I get 2 or 3 friends? Are we almost out of volunteers? I need 2 or 3 friends. I'm going to take them from this crowd if the rest of you are big sissy babies. Do you want to come? Would you come and help me? Come on, Barkowski. Come on. All the Barkowski kids, come on. Ella, Olivia. If you don't want to, you don't have to. James, come. James, correct? James? James, right? James, I thought so. Ella and Ella, Sophia, Olivia. Ella, Olivia, Sophia. That's all of them, right? Okay, good. Come on. No, you're on this side. You're on this side. Rehoboam. Now, these guys over here, you're with these guys. You're still over here. You're in this group. All right, now, Rehoboam says to these guys, what do you think I should do?
What do you think I should do?
But also, we got to remember, these are all his friends. These are all the young people. Now, he said, what do you think I should do? And they said, man, you ought to do this. Just say you ought to do this. All right, now, it is not a bad thing to talk to your friends about stuff. I was thinking about that today because we're always talking about you've got to get older opinion. Do you know this? If you want to fix your iPhone, do not ask an old person. They do not know how to turn an iPhone on. If you want to program your VCR, now you have to ask an old person because young people don't know what the VCR is. But if you want to know how to level up in the next game, or you want to know electronics, or you want to know the score of something, listen, talk to your friends. Those are decisions. Young people, they can help each other with certain things. Hey, electronics and math and other things. There's things your friends can help. But watch this. Rehoboam was so very smart. He didn't just ask his peer counsel, he asked for senior counsel. Now, this is that group. Jeroboam, you come stand over here out of the way. He came and asked that older people group too. Senior counsel. Now, is he going to ask them about electronics and stuff? No. Is he going to ask them about life? Yes. See, there's sometimes your peers can help you, but there's other times your seniors can help you. And he asked both of them. He said, what do you think I should do? And they said, do this or that. What do you think I should do? What do you think I should do? Do that. Do this. Say, do this.
Do this.
Do that.
Do that.
Okay, now, come back over here. Go back over to your group. Come back to your group. Watch me. There are things that you need to ask younger people, and there are things you need to ask older people. Why? When we're young, we have excitement and boldness. When you're young, you want to charge hell with a squirt gun. When you're young, you don't think about the consequences of the decision. In a local church, you must have young people because they're risk takers. When you get old, you have something that's not quite so exciting, but it is called experience. And experience says what goes up. When you're young and you're building the bicycle ramp and it's 5 feet off the ground, you're excited. You're bold. When you're old, you don't think about how cool the girls are going to think you are and how that chicks dig scars. You're going to think how many days it takes to recuperate in the hospital from that fall. So you need both. Listen, you go into this sermon thinking, get advice from old people. You need both. Some of you old people, you got to get around young people because fear begins to cripple us. Fear begins to control our thinking. We don't want to venture up. Let me testify to the glory of God. Do you know that when I went to Brother Morton and Brother Chase about selling the property and buying the property, I thought these older gentlemen are going to say, oh, no, Pastor, we're debt-free. We don't have any need for that. The two guys that were most excited were the two oldest men on the deacon board. They still had a vision and zeal. They hadn't let fear cripple their faith. So Rehoboam, up until this point, this is such a good decision. He said, man, I'm going to see what the young people think, and I'm going to see what the old people think. Now, here's where we get into a little bit of problem. This isn't a video game. This isn't an electronics question. This isn't a score, basketball, or what the wrestling standings are. This is a life decision. And sometimes experience is a great teacher. By the way, I love what James Maxwell said. James Maxwell said, it is not experience that is the great teacher. It is evaluated experience that's a great teacher. And so the right process, but the wrong result or the wrong reply. So Rehoboam, he really feels like he's got big answers here. And he says, hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
I made a decision.
I made a decision.
The old people said, I'm just going to read this part for myself. The old people said that I ought to loosen up and that I give everybody a break. But the young people said, make it harder. So just say, make it harder.
Make it hard.
I mean, you thought my dad was tough?
You thought my dad was tough?
I'm going to be so much tougher.
I'm going to be so dumb.
Not with that Mike Tyson voice, you're not. I'm going to be so much tougher, and I'm going to make everything harder.
Harder.
Harder. Now watch this, listen. Why do the young people have to have the tough? Why do they have to have the harder? You ever think about that, why that answer was? Because the young people come from a place of insecurity. They haven't. I laugh all the time. We'll be over there stacking chairs, and the young guys are grabbing 2 and 3 chairs. I'm like, I got 6 kids. I ain't got to give but 1 chair. I done proved I'm a man. I don't need to carry 12 chairs around here. Insecurity. They're trying to establish themselves. And they come from a place of insecurity. And so to them, they're overcompensating. They're trying to prove that they are somebody. A lot of times we make decisions because we're inexperienced and insecure. Inexperienced and insecure. And Jeroboam says, are you sure? And he said, yes, sir. And Jeroboam said, that's fine. Come on, let's go, fellas. Y'all go with him. Y'all go with him. What should have been the greatest day of Rehoboam's life didn't divide the kingdom in half. You know what he was left with? He was left with 16% of the nation. 2 out of 12 tribes. 10 said, no. And he's left with Judah and little baby tribe Benjamin. What was his mistake? Hey, he couldn't help. He couldn't help the problem. Problems happen. He couldn't help what his daddy did. His daddy set all this up with all that high taxation. He did the right thing. He got counsel from the young and the old. But here's the thing that I want to hit across tonight. It is not just that he got counsel. It is how you determine who, why, and where you get that counsel from. When I was a young person, 4th, 5th grade, we discovered girls. Boys discovered girls. Praise the Lord. Great day in your life. And we began to talk to each other. What's it like? And boy, these founts of wisdom. Anybody in 4th grade? 4th grade? James, what are you going to get, James? 5th grade. So you're, anybody 4th grade over there? Okay. So James is technically, come here, James. This is James Barkowski. His mom and dad, this is Brad and Felicia Barkowski. And they're visiting this night. So, James, you had no idea you're going to be. You know why? Because that row right there is a bunch of chickens, and they wouldn't come up here. Finn and Sammy and Leah and Tessa. Chicken, 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 chicken. So we got the visitor up here who is big and brave and bold. Chicken, 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 chicken. And I ain't going to talk about Sophia and Tegan back there, okay? So, James, man, I've been thinking about this girl in my class. What do you know about girls? You can step back. I don't want them. Brad and everything. We might move here. Not ever. They ain't coming back no more. No, never. No. I never thought in my infinite wisdom as 4th, 5th, 6th grader that maybe not one person that I was talking to about girls had any clue. And it never occurred to me to talk to my dad, who had 3 kids. So he knew something. We're talking about all this stuff we had no idea about. Now, if I want to talk about matchbook cars, or if I want to talk about cartoons, or I want to talk about basketball, this is a good group to talk about. But if I want to talk about things that matter, how can I ask somebody who's never been there to lead me there? If I want to know about finances, I don't want to talk to a homeless guy. If I want to talk to somebody about a successful marriage, man, I want to find somebody who's been married 30, 40, 50 years, and not just married, but happily married. If I want to talk to somebody about building a house, I'm not going to talk to the guy that specializes in houses of sticks and houses of hay. You read that story too? That's a good story. I want to talk to the guy that builds brick houses, right? If I want to know how to be successful, I'm not going to talk to the guy that's a failure. Now, Rehoboam's big issue was not that he had a problem, he couldn't help that, and not that he didn't get counsel, he did the right thing. His big issue was he went with people who had not the ability to lead him. When you come to school this next Monday and you sit down in that class, you're going to learn from teachers that have been in 3rd grade and 4th grade and 5th grade and 6th grade and 7th grade and 8th grade and 9th grade and 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. And then guess what? They were freshmen in college and they were sophomores and juniors and seniors. And guess what? Some of them have master's degrees and so on and so forth. They have been where you've never been. You would do well to listen to them. when it comes to your pastor and to Brother Nick and Brother Quinn and Brother Con and Brother Ammon and our staff, people that have, by the way, Nia, so good to see you back tonight. God bless you. Miss you so much. What a blessing to see you. But you are talking to people that have been down the road. And listen, they want to help you to avoid some of the places they went and to get where you want to go quicker and with less baggage. And so it's hard. By the way, this was a hard thing. It was harder when he didn't listen to the older men, because now he's got 16% of what he started with. One day, he's the king of everything. 3 days later, he's the king of one big tribe and one little bitty baby tribe. Last thought is this. Do you blame the rebellion? I mean, all they did was, where you at? Come here, Jeroboam. All they did was say, hey, listen, man, this is tough. We got to have some relief. Well, I can't believe people do what, wait a minute, whoa. I can totally see what they did. I ain't going to go through another 40 years of that. Rehoboam, and by the way, the story goes that he's going to go to war, and God says, don't you do that. Don't you do that. You did this. Don't you do that. You be satisfied with your little 16%. When you don't make the right choice, when you don't choose the right heart, don't be surprised when stuff happens. This was a logical conclusion. Watch this. Some of you guys, I'm not going to do my homework this year. Don't be surprised when you don't go to the next grade. What happened? Listen here, rocket scientist. You didn't do the work. You don't get the promotion. This isn't public school. I can't believe I got 10 demerits for talking. The rules say when you talk, how did this happen, Mr. Brown? Well, let me see. You disobeyed the rules, and then we have consequences. Don't be surprised when stuff happens. But I thought, you know what I saw the other day? I'm reading a Maxwell book, and Maxwell, talking in the book, he said, we don't ask questions. He said, it's better to have people ask you questions than to ask yourself questions, because you know your intentions. And you couch everything in how you think, how you suppose. Like, I know my heart, and I didn't mean to be this way. I meant to be this way. And you give yourself a lot of grace because you see what you really meant to see and say, not what you did. And so he said, have other people ask you questions, and it'll be a very informative thing for you, because you're going to find out that they don't see your intentions. You do not get what you intend or what you hope to get. You get what you do. And so this dude's over here going, what happened? What happened? I'll tell you what happened. You made a bad decision, and because you made a bad decision, there's consequences. So don't run to your mama. I'm so mad at the school. I'm so mad at Brother Brent. I'm so mad at Mama. I'm so mad at Dad. I'm mad at everybody. Why are you mad? You did wrong. These are consequences. By the way, that's why it's critical that you maintain the promise of punishment. If you offer it, you must absolutely go through with it. Because we're teaching them that when you don't do right, you get wrong. You get the reality of what you have, not what you hope or not the fantasy. So we got to divide the kingdom. All my little friends over here, woo, we're having a big time. 16%. Guys, can we give these guys a big round of applause? Thank you. Y'all may be seated. Thank you. Y'all may be seated. Thank you. How many of you raised or have teenagers? Let me see your hand. You raised or have teenagers? All right, let's talk. 1 minute, we'll be done. I have raised 4 teenagers, and I have 1 right now. Hey, bruh. I don't speak. I should get Gavin up here because I don't speak bruh. Hey, bruh. I'm thinking about jacking up my truck, man. I'm going to lift my truck up, man. I'm going to put a big speaker system in my truck, man. I'm going to blow my truck, man. Bruh, that's a great idea. Let's put hundreds of dollars into your truck, bruh. Let's lower it, let's lift it, bruh. That's awesome, man. Let's go fishing. Let's go buy new stuff, and let's buy bait, and let's buy gas, and let's go fish. Oh, that's great, man. Bruh. Mom and Dad. Now, this is not anybody you know. This is a Mom and Dad. Hey, dude, not the shoe. You need to save some money. You got insurance coming out. You got to put gas in the truck. Hey, man, save some money. I wouldn't put, that truck is a 2010. I'm just guessing a number now. I don't have anything specific in mind. That truck's a 2010. I wouldn't put all that money in tires and lifts and 2010 Ford F-150s. That lifespan may or may not. Hey, man, save some money. Make a plan. Set some aside. Bruh, let's go to the Keys. The Keys are awesome. Son, think about some things. You want a new truck. That costs money. You have to have money to buy a boat, to buy a truck, to buy food, sustenance. This is my favorite one. Again, these are just coming out of nowhere. I have no idea. Bruh, let's get an apartment together. I work at Taco Bell. I make $11.50 an hour. Bruh, we'll just have, man, there'll be no rules and there'll be no, man, bruh, son, rent in a really okay apartment. I mean, they're like, okay, like gonna be $1,700 a month. And then water and electricity, and we haven't bought a roll of toilet paper or a bag of ramen noodles yet. Bruh! Son. Now, if you asked me where to fish, I couldn't help you. I'm not a fisherman. I don't catch fish. I don't fish. If you ask me what size lift kit, I don't do that. I don't know engines. Not my thing. Wasn't my daddy's thing. But if you want to ask me about life, I was the 19-year-old kid that told my daddy, stick it, and I'm going to go buy a Ford Ranger from off the lot when you tell me not a good idea. And I'm going to pay for 5 years on a Ford Ranger pickup that when they saw me coming, that salesman just smiled. And, oh, you know what he said? Bruh! Bruh! I could have been driving a Lincoln Continental for what I paid for a Ford Ranger pickup truck. My uncle, who was the dealership manager, said, Brent, I wouldn't do that. That's a bad idea. But the other guy said, bruh. Now, I can't help you fish, and I can't help you. Hey, I can help you date. Because, man, I went through it. I told my precious daughter the other night, yeah, your dad's had his heart broken. Your dad's broke some hearts. I mean, it ain't fun, but it was worth it. Finding God's best was worth it. I can't help you with video games. I like Call of Duty, and I like, the new PS5 and all the new, I love the fact that football's back. I can't play that. I never was good when I was young. I'm not going to be good when I'm old. I can't help you. But Gavin could talk to you about all that. Shoot, some 9-year-old can probably help you with all that. But I know what it's like to be married 31 years. I know what it's like to have 6 kids and 3 of the most beautiful grandkids, and one turns 1 tomorrow. Happy birthday to Shiloh. I know what it's like to be a pastor for 27 years. I know what it's like to finish college and have a military career. I mean, now, it's not a bad idea to talk to your friends unless it's about big ideas. Not a bad idea for this stuff. Man, friends are great. Peers are great. But when you're talking about big ideas, you know, I tell the kids all the time, talk to your mom. Man, your mom knows. Man, what does mom know? She knows a lot more than you do. I'm just saying it's hard not to learn. It's hard to learn. You better choose your hard. Because if you don't, man, you're going to pay a hard price for a long time. I agree for Rehoboam. Dude, you're the son of the smartest man, bruh. You're the son of the smartest man that ever lived. And the guys that are telling you, don't do it, you know who they were? They were Solomon's right-hand men. The Bible, I didn't cover it, but the Bible says these are the elders of the house of Israel. These were the guys that labored with, they were the ones doing all this with Solomon. And they said, son, we're telling you, your dad did a great job, but they're tired. Listen to us. So frustrating, so difficult being the pastor when you watch people who listen to their friends in an echo chamber of insecurity and inexperience, and you're begging them, listen, well, you're just trying to keep them having fun. Son, if you understood, I'm trying to keep you from wrecking your life, and I'm actually trying to help you have the best life possible. Because I know this, if you'll save a little bit of money now, you can buy a nicer boat then. You can have a car that actually runs. If the engine's broke, but you got nice tires, guys, you did great. Thank you for your help. I appreciate it so much. Let's get our prayer sheets out. If you